Hello everyone and welcome to Introduction to Data Analytics and Data Science. This is Lesson 1 where we are going to introduce you to spreadsheets and charts. So to get started, we're actually going to play a game which you may have already played in our previous coding courses, or if you've played this on your parents' old phones, we are going to be playing Snake. So before we get started, some instruction for the teachers. What we're going to do first is, teachers, if you can go to the dashboard on this link here, so if you click on that, that should take you to a page that looks like this. This is where you're going to show the data that has been collected for the Snake game. In order to set up the game for your specific class, you're going to click on this button, Generate New Session ID. That will give you a new code here. And then this is the link here that you can give to your class to go ahead and play. Once you've distributed this to your students and they click through, what's going to happen when the screen loads up is it's going to ask for the player name. So this is where the students can enter in their name. So let's say we have John, and then we can play Snake. So the idea here is you press enter to start the game, then you use the WASD keys to move the snake, or you can use the arrow keys. And the idea is to move the snake to eat the strawberries. And every time the snake eats the strawberry, it gets a little bit longer, but if it hits the edges of the screen, you lose, or if you go ahead and run into yourself, you also lose. Okay, so have a couple of goes of playing that. So while the students are playing their game, have a think about what type of data is being collected from your game playing activities. And why do you think that data might be collected? Right, so once the classes had a go at playing that, maybe for about 5 minutes or so, see who gets the highest score. As the teacher, you can go back to that dashboard and then click on Refresh Data, and you will now see the statistics that were gathered from the students who played the game. Okay, so you have the highest score by player here. You can see that John got 300 and Jane got 100. You got the longest snake. John got 6 pieces in the snake. Jane got 4. The most number of moves. John made 9 as his maximum number of moves across all his games. Jane made 3. And then the total number of games played, John played 3 and Jane only played 2. Okay. After we've gone through and taken a look at the dashboard, let's go through and see who got the highest score in the class, who played the most number of games, and who had the longest snake. And for discussion, if you were a games company that released that game online, what do you think the purpose was behind collecting all that data? We're doing it obviously in the context of our class, so we can take a look at who scored the highest, etc. But if you were running a games business, why might that be important? So some possible reasons for collecting and using the data in our Snake game. Well, we can use those statistics and data to score players for competitions. If we're going to run a competition and figure out who won first prize, you can use that data to determine that, obviously. Similarly, we can put our players on online leaderboards, so we have this online community that engages with the game and promote more time spent on the games. If you can see yourselves on leaderboards and want to advance up the leaderboards, for instance. Very importantly, a lot of companies use data to identify advertisements to target to players for extra revenue. If you're noticing that particular people are playing the game a lot, maybe you want to target gaming devices, advertisements for gaming devices on their browser. Or, if you can see a player is quite good, maybe you can suggest other games for them to play, and many other opportunities to make money through ads that way. From a technical point of view, you can use the data to see if the game is working properly online. So if you're noticing on particular times of the day where there are no people playing, when normally they tend to be a lot, then maybe that's indicating something wrong with the game. And from the point of providing extra services, if we notice that some players aren't scoring very highly, but they're very engaged, perhaps there is a way to suggest tutorials, guidance videos to train up these players so that they can get better as well. So you can notice there are lots of reasons why data is collected and then analyzed to provide better services and products for the users, and also to possibly make a lot more money.